Afternoon, everybody. We're getting ready to, obviously, we're excited to get over to Little Rock and play. I'm trying to get the history of Little Rock and playing over there to our kids. I'm going to try to educate them as much as I can about the games over in Little Rock. I think last year was the first time since 1931 that we didn't have a game over there in Little Rock. And I know in 48, they started playing 2 or 3 a year and things of that nature. And basically, I think it's what makes Arkansas that we've been willing to take the team to the central part of the state. And I certainly remember when that happened when I was in high school, and it happened a little bit when I was here as an assistant coach. But we're excited to play. But we're excited to get over there and see the fans over in Little Rock.
Yeah, Coach, this week is kind of different after the stretch you've had with Texas A&M, Auburn, all those teams. And I guess it would probably be a little bit of human nature for the players to not see a big name team across, the chest of the other players. How do you guard against any type of letdown in terms of intensity?
Well, I think we have to be smart with our team a little bit. I think just the way that we'll practice and we'll approach practice, I think we can keep the team involved in the opponent. Today we're not going to, we always go shells on Monday, and we're not. We're just too beat up right now, and we've got to get some players back. And I don't want them back for Mississippi State. I want them back for this weekend. I want them back for Pine Bluff. I think we probably won't practice as lengthy as what we had. I know we won't practice quite as physical as we had because we just don't have enough depth to do that right now. And so we would do it whether we were playing Auburn or whether we were playing Arkansas, Pine Bluff. We don't really have a choice. We've got to be smart with our team. And that's certainly not being soft. That's just being smart. So I don't think we'll have much of a problem of getting ready and those things. A lot of times when you have some injuries, the new guy coming in, he certainly doesn't have a problem getting ready because it's his opportunity. So I think we'll be fine there.
A bust down, fly back, or how do you?
Well, when I was here before, I think we bust down and we flew back in a couple of different planes and all this. But I felt like, the getting over there is not a problem. It's a bus ride. A lot of kids will, if you leave here, you go to the airport, or you can go private out of here. It's just real costly to me for a 3-hour ride over there. On a normal year, if we had let's say the game was at night and we had a game the next week, we might fly back. But since we're off and it's an 11 o'clock game, I think we'll be back here by 6:37. And we're going to give the players off Sunday and Monday of that next week. So, it's a little bit of fall break and things. So I really wasn't concerned. I made a mistake last year by going, we bus to Missouri. It's just too far. But this one here, I don't think it'll be any type of big deal at all, to be honest with you.
There's a historical aspect to this game because there was a, policy here not to play in-state. So here you are, the first time to play an in-state team in so long. Just your thoughts about, the historical aspect of playing somebody from in-state.
Well, it says right here, my friend, that we haven't played an in-state 1944, last time we did. And even as old as I am, I wasn't born at that point. So I think it's a big deal. Obviously we're playing Arkansas State in I believe in 5 years, in 2025, I believe. So, I know for years it's not good. They say it's not good for the University of Arkansas, but at that point in time, if we haven't turned our program around enough to do well in these type games, and probably a new guy talking about it, but it's exciting. I think it's exciting for the state. I really am. I mean it. I'm excited to get over Little Rock, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of fans over there, but I haven't made much about the history out of it, honestly, but 1944, a long time ago.
Not sure if Jalen had morning surgery or what, but have you gotten a report back how he's doing?
Yeah, good. I'm glad you asked. I was going to talk about it later anyway, but he had surgery this morning. He had, some slight tears in his labrum in the front and the back. And surgery went well. He's already been in the facility and went to Walmart to get his meds. So he's doing well.
Has he indicated whether he wants to come back or is he talking about turn pro?
Well, I think you'd have to talk to him, but in all my thought process is that he'll come back. But I mean, I think you'd have to talk to him about it a little bit. He'll know the answer better than me.
Also, is there, because I guess he's been kind of your quarterback back there, is a Fouché or Monteric? I mean, do you look to somebody else to kind of take charge back?
Well,
there?
I thought Slusher played well. He got beat early on a long pass last week, but I thought he actually played better than even I thought he would, because he hasn't played much ball. He's been hurt the whole time, really since he's been here, and so I think he can take that position and do well there. Blair's been a guy back there as well, and then I think we're going to look at Chavis a little bit more than what we have.
Hey, Sam, Hudson, was healthy enough to play and made some plays the other day. Just wonder what you thought about his play and what you can get out of him moving forward.
I think he'll get better as he plays more. He got thrown in there when Day had the pull in his hamstring, and okay, Hudson Henry. I was proud of him. He makes plays. He was physical. He's done that in practice. He's just been a guy too that's been hurt a lot this year. Finally got healthy, and then Trey had taken some of his reps even when he was healthy. I thought he played well. I thought he blocked well. Caught some passes, made some guys miss, made some extra yards. He certainly is in the plans for this week and the future, and I'm glad to see that he's finally healthy again.
Obviously playing at LSU down the line here. The big news about Ed Orgeron going to be out after the season's over. Just wonder what your reaction was to that.
Yeah, I really haven't thought about it a lot. It's the nature of the business, people have to make those decisions, and, sometimes you go, what, or you go, he's going to continue to coach the year and all those things. That would be hard to me. I think that would be hard, but, I don't know a whole lot about the situation except that, he won a national championship 2 years ago. I do know that. And they had a heck of a team because they beat us when I was at Georgia in the SEC championship game. But other than that, I haven't thought about it much, and I really don't know what to say about it, to be honest with you.
It's just on Malik Chavis getting some more looks at safety. What does he, what's unique about him that he can bring to safety spot?
He can run. He's got the body type. He can run. He's finally getting comfortable in there. He knows what he's doing. We just need to give him some opportunity, a little more opportunity. And certainly with our situation right now, that opportunity, he's going to get it because he has to. And a lot of times guys will surprise you how well they play. Sometimes they don't play as good as you think they're going to, but he's done a nice job and he's worked hard. I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
Coach, I'm wondering, last week you told us about Wagner having surgery. Is he a guy you think might be able to return this season, or do you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll return for sure. I anticipate that he'll be back from Mississippi State. They told us whenever he did it'd be about a 21-day recovery as far as being able to get, the healing process and then being able to practice, and that would be from the time he had it, be the Monday of the Mississippi State week. So I anticipate him back.
Do you think this week might be a week you might be able to get some of those younger guys in there along the offensive line, St. John, Crawford, those guys?
Lord willing, we will. You know, I mean, that's not the plan. I mean, the plan is to go play as good as we can. And certainly if something happened, then it'd be good for the guys that haven't had opportunities. But we're going in like it's going to be a barn burner. And I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going in like it's going to be a really competitive game. And you know, they do so many things. I mean, they play two quarterbacks. They try to block every single punt, which you guys know is scary. And I don't know. They play hard. They play really hard. They've had some injuries that's hurt them. They had a really nice right tackle that got hurt, but they've got some speed and you know, they went to a championship game in the spring, you know, and they just have lost some games here this year, but Doc will have them ready. I'm positive.
Is it surprising you've been able to keep 4 running backs kind of in rotation the way you have, where all of them kind of gotten the ball enough, or do you feel they have?
You know, the only disappointing thing to me that we're where we are is I don't think we're getting Dominique Johnson the ball enough. And you know, every time he seems to run the football, good things happen. And to me, he probably got to double his load, what we've been giving him, and because he's proven that he's a really good player. Now, with that said, someone's going to lose carries, you know, and that's fine. But I don't know how we can continue to, you know, when you give reps, you give them so you can see what the kids are able to do. And then when you're in game 7, you've probably seen it. And now there needs to be a little bit more of an order of this guy gets this many carries, this one gets that. Before it was kind of that way, but then you're dividing them by 4. I think the division's got to come maybe a little closer to 3, 2.5.
What are your thoughts on KJ, where he is at this point, his development, and where you'd like to see him continue to improve?
No, I thought Saturday that there was times when he played really slow. I think the Ole Miss game banged him up quite a bit. And then I had somebody ask me a question about, you know, he got hit 18 times on runs, 3 in sacks and 3 somewhere else. And even though he's a big man, you know, you still get hit. That's part of the beast and part of the nature of playing a position in this offense. It's part of it. But we played a lot of plays over the last 2 games too on offense. It's not like, you know, we went out there and played 70 plays a game and they were in the 90s. So I know Ole Miss was in the 90. I don't know if it's 80s. We're over average over 90, I believe, the last 2 games. And it's hard on a guy. But I think his development's good. You know, I don't think he was just crisp throwing the football, obviously, Saturday. I don't think he's just crisp running the football. I don't think he's just crisp running the offense, to be honest with you. And I think, you know, you got to understand, too, this is his first year to play. I think, you know, it's like any of these freshmen, you go out there and you're going pretty good, and then you hit that wall a little bit. And he may have done that a little bit. Certainly have gone through to me, the toughest stretch there in college football. And he hung tough with it and those things, but I think he needs a little bit of a rest as well.
You said the other day there were some plays that y'all were making earlier in the year that you're maybe not making as many. How much did that apply to the defense? And was Auburn just really executing at a high level against the defense? Is that part of?
I think Auburn has a really good football team. I do. I thought that going into the game. They're big and physical up front. They got 2 really good tackles. I mean, both those guys are really good. And then you put in Bigsby and the other backs, and then Bo Nix, you know, he played. I don't know if that's his best he's played or not, but it had to be close. And, then D-Rob at wideout is making all kinds of plays for us. A great portal pickup for him. So I don't know, here's the last 2 weeks defensively, we've had players come off the edge. We've had edge presence and they just haven't made the play. We've had A and B gap presence from the third level, that what you're going to have in Barry's defense, safeties, and we just haven't made the play. But sometimes we haven't touched them, and those were not happening early in the year. So I don't know if it's the player, if it's fatigue, or if we're just taking bad angles, But sometimes your depth, we're not quite there yet. We're working on it, but sometimes your depth, if you get to having to play your twos a lot for whatever reason, sometimes there's a big slip off. Then some programs, there's none, there's some, but not much. And we're noticing that a little bit. That's why we got to get healthy. And, we throw our ones out there. We've got a really good football team, and then, our depth is coming. But right now we're in position. We're just not making a play.
So getting hits on the quarterback, getting a little more pressure these last 5 games is probably pretty important.
I really think we're going to make a run. I do. I think, we made a 4-game run early in the year. I mean, we made a nice run. And I think this week, if we practice the right way, that we can get back as healthy. We don't have a ton of guys that are out indefinitely, Dorian, Gerald, Catalan now. That's the only 2 I can think of right now. We just have guys that are beat up. And so if we can be smart this week, which we will, that's my job, to get them ready for this game, then we have a week off. That week, we're not going to hit at all with the older guys. Now we're going to do walkthroughs and things of that nature. And we're going to hit some of the younger guys, the guys that aren't playing. Then I think we can get in, and we got 4 games left, and 2 of them are at home. And I think we can make a run, and I think we will, but we've got to get healthy starting today, and hopefully fortunate enough to go and win this game Saturday, and then have some more time off as well.
You kind of talked about the historical aspect of this game. Pine Bluff, they've lost 5 in a row, but for these kids, it's probably a dream to get to play, not just a SEC team, but Arkansas.
Yeah.
What kind of effort are you expecting from Pine Bluff?
The best they have, and you can tell they have the want to. They play hard. They're not as big as some teams as we played and things of that nature. And they're rotating quarterbacks and things of that nature, but they've got speed. They've got enough size. And, they were in the championship last year for whatever. They just, haven't won games quite like they did in the spring. But I expect their effort to be, I think they'll be jacked up and ready to go. And I'm positive they will be.
So I was played SWAC teams like Florida A&M and Alcorn and giving them, nice guarantees like these games are about. How important do you think it is that you guys keep the money, like help UAPB instead of helping Florida A&M or Alcorn or whoever?
Yeah, I think it's smart. I mean, I do. I mean, if we can, I don't want to help them and then they beat our tails, but yeah, I mean, I do. I think it's smart, and you always risk taking a risk as a head coach at the major university by playing anybody in the state. It's a risk, but I do. I think that's smart.
Coach, how did you assess Ty Clary's play last week at right tackle, and how is he doing there?
I think Ty, again, he got a back, he's got a shoulder and all these things, but I think, he's doing a good job for us. I really do. We move him a little bit. We didn't move him quite as much last week because Dalton was gone for sure. we did play him a little bit of center, but he just has a lot of value, like I've said before. And he's a better gamer than he is in practice. Sometimes in practice you go, oh man, what's going on? And then in the game, he does a good job in the game. So got to continue to work his pass pro, and things of that nature, but all of them do. But I've been really pleased with Ty.
Started this past game. Is that just a matter of what you were saying earlier about trying to get him more carries, more of a workload there?
We had our reasons to start him, and I'll just leave it at that. Thank y'all.